Oh my god, hey!
Hello.
Welcome back to my Stagey YouTube channel. If you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Mickey Jo.
And my name is Aeron James. I thought you were going to bring...
I don't know, there we go. Look, these are our names and handles,
Yeah.
everyone. So you can learn more about us and find us on social media platforms.
Yes.
I am an independent theatre critic and a Stagey YouTuber. Aeron here works in the theatre industry and is also my long-suffering theatrical boyfriend. And also my real boyfriend. That made it sound like
Yeah, they found
we weren't actually...
like
yeah.
a fictional on-stage romance only.
So in today's video, we are going to be talking all things Olivier Awards. So the nominations came out recently. We've done our reaction to all of this. And now we're going to be talking about the most important questions. Who do we think should win? And who do we think will win? So we're going to go through category by category, probably excluding the opera and dance stuff, because it would just be wild conjecture, because we don't know things about opera and dance. That is a cultural black spot for us. Black spot? Black
Dark
hole.
spot. It's a black hole.
Black hole. It's a cultural black hole. The black spot is the thing they give pirates when they're going to die. I learned that from the Muppets Treasure Island, not even the real one. But today, like I said, we're going to talk through each category. Who do we think should win? Who do we think will win? And we're each going to guess so that when the Oliviers actually roll around and we are there, sat in the auditorium, we can do a tally and decide who won. So let's find out what we think. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to subscribe to my Stagey YouTube channel and go and find both of us on socials. You can find us on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok, and usually at the theatre. What is the first category?
The Noel Coward Award for Best Entertainment or Comedy Play. So we have Jack and the Beanstalk at the London Palladium,
Yeah.
My Neighbour Totoro at the Barbican Theatre, My Sins Are Queer, But What Can You Do at the Garrick Theatre and Ambassadors Theatre, and One Woman Show at the Ambassadors Theatre. Big one for the Ambassadors Theatre.
That was a big one for the Ambassadors Theatre. Okay, so let's write down who we think should win and who we think will win. Oh, this is very hard. My heart and my head are saying two different things, and my pen is not saying anything at all. I have my answers.
I have mine as well.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Whoa! What have you written? I can't see any of it.
Totoro and Totoro.
I've also written Totoro and Totoro. A clean sweep for My Neighbour Totoro. It should win. It will win. It's a shame, because if it wasn't in that category, I think My Sons Are Queer might have a better chance.
Yeah, it's one of those where Totoro not being in play and being in entertainment kind of changes things, especially because, like, my heart is so much with My Sons Are Queer, but Totoro, the creativity, the storytelling, the puppetry, like, I don't think I've been in such awe watching a show since that.
And it screams awards. People have been saying since they saw it, this is going to win all the awards. And my heart is with Rob Madge and My Sons Are Queer. But like we were saying earlier, sometimes the win is just getting nominated and the recognition that brings as well. And same for One Woman Show.
Yeah.
If Totoro does sweep a lot of the creative categories, could this be the first time we see a show sweeping the Oliviers that was nominated in the entertainment category rather than play or musical?
Quite possibly. Yeah, quite possibly.
If you think about the big sweeps of previous years, the Harry Potter play and Cabaret and Life of Pi, I don't know if we've ever seen a comedy or entertainment sweep like that before.
No. I think Palladium have done creators before.
Have they swept? I don't think they've swept.
I guess it's, did they sweep what they could sweep?
That's not sweeping. That's I've said sweep too many times and now it sounds strange.
No, I'm thinking of Sooty and Sweep.
Oh.
So next is the Gillian Lynn Award for Best Theatre Choreographer. Nice point, this is the first time it's ever been called the Gillian Lynn Award in honour of Gillian Lynn.
Dame Gillian Lynn.
Dame Gillian Lynn, but also the fact that she was the first choreographer in history to get an Olivier Award.
Trivia. We've got it all for you in this video.
So, the 4 nominees are Matt Cole for Newsies,
Yeah.
Lynn Page for Standing at the Sky's Edge,
Yeah.
Kate Prince for Sylvia, and Basil Twist for Puppetry Direction for My Neighbour Totoro.
3, 2, 1. Bam. Have we said the same thing?
Newsies,
Newsies should, but
Totoro for win.
Totoro will. I think so as well. I think Newsies does incredible things with its choreography.
Yeah.
And to reinvent iconic choreography while still, stylistically paying tribute to the original, to the Christopher Catelli choreography, is amazing. And Matt Cole's done really phenomenal work, and all the different things, like with the lamps and the sweating, like everything they do.
It was the nom that I felt like everybody at least expected for Newsies, so I'm glad that they did get that nomination.
Yeah.
Puppetry rarely misses at the Olivier's. There's a real soft spot for really good puppetry.
We saw this with the 7 actors playing the tiger in The Life of Pi, and it's difficult to compete with that when there's one sort of novel nominee in a category.
Yeah.
They immediately stand out, and you can't compete with, like, the joyous, charismatic, lively puppetry and the creatures they created in My Neighbour Totoro.
The next category is Best Costume Design.
Best Costume Design.
So we have Frankie Bradshaw for Blues for an Alabama Sky.
Uh-huh.
Hugh Durant for Jack and the Beanstalk. Jean-Paul Gaultier for the Jean-Paul Gaultier Fashion Freak Show. And Kimi Nakano for My Neighbour Totoro.
What are we calling costume design in My Neighbour Totoro?
I don't think it's for puppetry.
I don't think it's the puppetry either. Okay. That could be one of those creative ones that it just gets because it's sweeping. Maybe it'll go this way. I don't know that I have as much of a horse in this race as I do in some of the others, but I
think
have
we
my
got
thoughts.
the same thing.
3, 2, 1. So I think Jack and the Beanstalk should win amazing costumes at the London Palladium.
Yeah.
Just the various things that Julie and Clary
You can already
emerged
see what's happened.
wearing. Have we both said Jean-Paul Gaultier? I mean, a fashion icon, and quite unlike the rest of the nominees in this category for what the show was.
And the voting panel also like big names.
Yeah. And they think if they can get Jean-Paul Gaultier giving a speech on the Olivier Awards, maybe that's good for TV.
You ready for the next one?
I am ready for the next one.
It's a big one.
Okay.
It's Best Revival.
And the elephant in the room here is a cock.
Yes, so it is The Crucible, Good, Jerusalem, and A Streetcar Named Desire. I haven't seen any of them.
You haven't seen any of them? I've only actually seen one, but it's the one I really think shouldn't win. So I saw Jerusalem, and I don't think it actually has any business being in this category because, and this debate comes around occasionally, it's not a revival, it's a remounting. The same production got brought back with 2 of the same principal cast members, it was the same set, it was the same creative team, it was the same theatre. In any case, it was fantastic, and it's not the end of the world to see it acknowledged here, but at the expense of cock, which sounds strange every time I say it. So I'm just going to go, based on what I've heard, I think we might have to stop sharing a pen because this is ridiculous. I can't even see what I've written here. You got a streetcar across the board?
Yep.
Yeah. I think streetcar should and will win.
Yep.
I think streetcar's going to do very well. It has this advantage of moving into the West End right before the Olivier Awards. It's going to have momentum. There's the Paul Mescal of it all. There's a lot of buzz around this production. It was very sold out.
Magic Radio Best Musical Revival.
Here we go.
My Fair Lady, Rodgers and Hammerstein's Oklahoma, Sister Act, and South Pacific.
Okay. You do yours, and then pass me the pen. I'm thinking about the choices. I've already forgotten the second one. No, it's come back to me. Huzzah! I have written Okla and Homer because I think it should win and it will win. I mean,
Same.
it's a polarizing production. Love or hate this revival of Oklahoma, and people do love and hate it. I think this is what revivals are about, and this was truly groundbreaking, a complete reinvention.
It's a revival that people are talking about. Like, and they
again,
haven't spoken about it for this whole year.
Yeah, and again, it's nominated in a lot of other categories. You can see a lot of love for it there. Not that the nominators and the voters are the same group, but it has just moved into the West End. Its timing is good.
And it has a lot of very important producers behind it.
It has a lot of very important producers behind it, and that helps.
So,
Have we disagreed on anything yet?
No.
Not even a single thing?
No, I think we're quite on it. So, the D&B Audio Technica Award for Best Sound Design, we have Bobby Aitken for Standing at the Sky's Edge.
Standing at the sky's edge.
Tony Gale for My Neighbour Totoro. Drew Levy for Rodgers and Hammerstein's Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
And Ben and Max Fringham for Prima Facie.
Well, this is the 4, really. This is the 4 heavyweight nominees all going against each other. 3, 2, 1. Who have you gone for should?
Totoro.
I've also said Totoro. Who do you think will?
Totoro.
Oh, this is our first disagreement. But I think Prima Facie might take it. Prima Facie. I think Prima Facie might take this one. It's hard to know which of these is going to get more of the buzz.
Oh, see, I think it's between Totoro and Oklahoma.
You think Oklahoma?
Because of the microphone decisions when it goes to blackness and
yes,
when it goes into darkness, and kind of it has a more glaring like sound design, and Totoro does as well. I just think that it's interesting that Prima Facie isn't up for many technical awards at all.
True. We will see. We will find out. But finally there is division betwixt us.
Yes. So best original score or new orchestrations.
Oh.
But have you noticed this though?
What have I noticed?
They have changed the title recently.
Mm-hmm.
So it's now doesn't do best achievement in music. It's very specifically score orchestrations.
That doesn't make me happier.
David Yazbek for music and lyrics, Jamshid Sharifi for orchestrations, and Andrea Grody for additional arrangements for the band's visit at Donmar Warehouse.
Band's visit.
Joe Hisaishi for music and Will Stewart for orchestrations and arrangements for My Neighbour Totoro at the Barbican Theatre.
Totoro, Totoro.
Daniel Kluger for orchestrations and arrangements, and Nathan Kosey for additional vocal arrangements for Rodgers and Hammerstein's Oklahoma at Youngvik.
Oklahoma.
Richard Hawley for music and lyrics, and Tom Deering for orchestrations for Standing at the Sky's Edge at the National Theatre.
Open up your door.
I'm really stuck actually what I think should.
I know my should, I don't know my will. 3, 2, 1, reveal.
Oh, we did go very different.
So I think the band's visit should win. You think it will win.
I think if there was any category for the band's visit to win, it would be in music.
I think the band's visit, for what it's worth, should win because it is the only wholly original score for a musical written for stage, and I think that's what this category ought to be. Incredible, incredible work done in the rest of the nominees in this category, but they're not original scores.
I love what they've done with Oklahoma.
Yep.
And I think that it's the proof of what a revival can be if you're letting creatives take a big swing and basically reinvent Roger and Hammerstein's score. Like, when you listen to that show, you can't believe it's the same musical because it doesn't sound like it's the same music.
Yeah. I think Standing at the Sky's Edge will win. That's my will, but it would be an acknowledgement for the composition of the music rather than what's been done specifically for stage. And there's nothing wrong with that, but strictly speaking, is that what the nomination is for?
Mark Akintomahin, Emmanuel Akwafo, Nabiko Ejiofor, Dara Hand, Aruna Jallo, and Kane Lawrence for Black Boys Who Have Considered Suicide When the Hue Gets Too Heavy, Will Keane for Patriots, Elliot Levy for Good, David Morst for To Kill a Mockingbird, and Saul Remy for Blues for an Amalama.
I love you did so well with those names, and then the one that got you was Alabama. I'm going to be bold and just forego the should category here, because I've not seen any of them.
I agree.
So it would be disingenuous to write anything under who should win, but I am willing to take a bet on who will.
Yep, I am as well.
Have we gone for the same thing?
We have indeed.
Yay, the ensemble cast of For Black Boys Who Consider Suicide When the Hue Gets Too Heavy. It was to Life of Pi's benefit last year with the 7 actors who played the tiger, and you're also going to say
they got the stage award.
They did. They got the stage debut award,
which I think is a big thing. And I think out of everything, like it's the one that's probably got the most focus, and the one that they'll be focused. And like Elliot Levy won last year in a different category, but I feel like that's probably the show where out of all of them, I can think people have spoken about, and there seems to be a pure love for it. Best Actress in a Supporting Role
in a Play.
Rosa Ailing-Ellis for As You Like It. Pamela Nunvetti for To Kill a Mockingbird. Caroline Quentin for Jack Absolute Flies Again.
Mm-hmm.
Sharon Small for Good. And Anjana Vasan for A Streetcar Named Desire. Oh, so I've seen 2 of these performances.
I've only seen one, but I thought she was lovely. So I'm going to write that name down as who should win. 3, 2, 1. Ba-bam! What have you said?
I've gone for Pamela Nonvetti in Win.
I've gone for The Streetcar Effect with Anjana Vasan, taking it for Streetcar Named Desire, and Rose Elingas being the only one I've actually seen in that category.
So,
As You Like It.
I really enjoyed Rose Elingas, but then my vote for Should and Will is going to Pamela for To Kill a Mockingbird, because I could see that being where one of the wins for To Kill a Mockingbird could be. I think me and Sean left for theatre, and I spoke about her performance for probably about 20 to 30 minutes.
Wow.
Her part in, if you watched it, when she has her moment, it stops everything, and it's the real heart of the production.
Fair enough. You've convinced me. Had you said that before, I might have changed my mind.
The Blue Eye Theatre Technology Award for Best Set Design. Miriam Boover for To Kill a Mockingbird.
Just broke the pen.
Tom Pye for My Neighbour Totoro. Ben Stones for Standing at the Sky's Edge. And Mark Walters for Jack and the Beanstalk. Will the Beanstalk have moved people?
It was a very good beanstalk. Is it an award-winning beanstalk? Reveal. What have you gone for?
Totoro and Totoro.
I think I'd be happy with a Totoro win. I think it deserves it. I think Standing at the Sky's Edge also deserves it. I like that set as well.
I love a brutalist. I love this set, the Standing at the Sky's Edge. And I think that was the one I loved it. But I also loved Mockingbird set. I thought that was just so clever, because when I was reading about why the set's on all of it, I was really interested. I think it's more the fact for me that Standing at the Sky's Edge is a very me kind of set.
Yeah.
It's very what I'm into. I'm very into abstract, and then the lighting design being really key with it.
It's also by and large a static set.
I think that's why I'm Totoro should win, because so much had to be put into that set to make it grand, and there are buildings and there are vehicles, but also it needed to go on such a massive journey the whole way through that I'm just that's a sign. The White Light Award for Best Lighting Design. Natasha Chivers for Prima Facie.
Mm-hmm.
Lee Curran for A Streetcar Named Desire. Jessica Hung Hanyon for My Neighbour Totoro. Tim Lutkin for The Crucible.
Okay, we've got 3 heavyweights in this category. At the risk of starting to sound like a broken record.
Yeah, I do the same.
Totoro and Totoro. Given that these are all plays, it makes me disappointed that we don't have a category for lighting design.
For a musical.
Because I think they have to do very different things.
Oh, all these creative categories should have for a play, for a musical. Because you can do it with performers, but you can't do it with creatives.
Yep.
And then it means that plays are fighting it out with musicals, and musicals have such a hard job to trying to get into a category like Best Direction.
Yep.
Such a hard job to get in there.
Because they're not considered to have the same legitimacy. And let's not pretend for a second that directors of plays and directors of musicals have any kind of a similar job.
No. It's completely different.
What's next?
Best Actress in a Supporting Role in a Musical.
You know what? This is my favourite awards category of all time. I love an actress in a supporting role.
So we have...
in a musical.
Beverly Knight for Sylvia.
I'd hoped, Sylvia, I'd hoped. I'm doing that thing where sometimes they cut to a clip of their performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have Memuna Memo for Standing at the Sky's Edge.
Open up your door.
We have Liza Sadovi for Rodgers and Hammerstein's Oklahoma.
Dum diddy dum dum dum. Bang.
We have Marisha Wallace for Rodgers and Hammerstein's Oklahoma.
I'm just a girl who can't say no. This is the one we've been debating.
Yeah.
You don't know where this is going to go.
There's 2 I think it could go to.
3, 2, 1. Bam. Okay, you've gone for Beverly Knight. I agree that I think Beverly Knight will win. I think she's paid her dues. She did Sister Act as well this year. She didn't get a nomination for that.
I think people will vote thinking about both performances.
And the body of work over the last few years. She's been nominated twice before.
She's had 2 nominations, and I think people have
Yep.
love the fact that she's become such a champion of theatre, and she is now a West End leading. She is very clearly a West End performer, not just the Queen of Soul.
I would have written her up here because I love her performance in Sylvia. They don't give her enough material to work with. And Maimuna I think just vocally, acting-wise, ticks all of the boxes. And I'm thrilled enough that she is nominated. I've been talking about how great she is for years. But can you imagine if she got to win? That would be it'd be an upset. It would definitely be an upset.
Next is Best Actor in a Supporting Role in a Musical.
In a musicale.
Sharifa Fifi for The Band's Visit.
Yep.
Peter Policarpou for The Band's Visit.
Yes.
Clive Rowe for Sister Act.
Yes.
And Zubin Vala for Tammy Faye. I think this one for me is kind of easiest just because I'd kind of said it a while ago. And I felt like this is probably one of two that I was like, oh yeah, it's probably going to go this way.
Maybe we've gone the same way. Let's find out. 3, 2, 1. Bam!
Yeah, Zubin Vala.
Zubin Vala. It's a great performance.
Yeah.
It's a really nuanced.
Fully fleshed.
Very fleshed. So much flesh. All of the flesh.
And I kind of feel like as well, Zubin Vala is somebody that's like worked... Has he been nominated before?
Was he nominated for Fun Home?
I'd have hoped so. He was phenomenal. His performance, to say it's a performance in a musical, I think it lends a lot to the play voters, because it's as complex as like a character in Best of Enemies was, which obviously James Graham writing the book. That's why there's a similarity.
He was nominated for Fun Home.
I was going to say I'd have hoped so because very, very good. So the next category we are skipping. It is Best New Opera Production.
Ah.
One day we will get round to.
Yeah.
Operetta I've got into before.
I saw an opera last year.
You did?
Was it nominated?
No.
No. Well, there you go. Then that was a waste of my time, wasn't it? I'm joking. I had a lovely time. Which category actually is next?
Best Actor in a Musical. We have Alamoni Aboutful for The Band's Visit.
Yep.
Arthur Darvill for Rodgers and Hammerstein's Oklahoma.
Yep.
Julian Ovenden for South Pacific.
Yep.
And Andrew Rannells for Tammy Faye.
Okay. Oh, I didn't do my little performance clips when you were announcing them.
Oh yeah, no you didn't.
That's sad. We might disagree.
I think so. It's kind of interesting when you read them out and you suddenly kind of go, how did I react to these four?
Bam! Oh, we both think Arthur Darvill will win.
I feel like Arthur Darvill's put a lot into music. I feel like when Arthur Darvill replaced with Once was never in the running for Once. It's the first time that Arthur Darvill's like been given the chance to be commended for his like work in musical theatre.
Well, he could have been nominated for Sweet Charity. You thought yours should win, Alan Mooney. Moving, very moving.
Really, really moving, and I think. I didn't know when I knew about the Broadway production in Act 2 the sudden real depth and complexity of his character, the whole story with the son and everything. I was like, that was very well delivered.
It was incredibly sincere. It was very moving. I've written Julian Ovenden. If there was one, from the beginning, I've been saying he is the one person I need to be nominated in this category. He was mesmerisingly good. And his performance of This Nearly Was Mine, I can't remember if there was a mid-show standing ovation. I remember I wanted to stand up. It was so good. It was incredibly good.
Katie Braven for Tammy Faye, Anushka Lucas for Rodgers and Hammerstein's Oklahoma, Miriam Masika for The Band's Visit, and Faith Amole for Standing at the Sky's Edge.
This one's really hard.
I can put who I think will win.
Not for the will necessarily, but for the should.
Yes.
Is very hard.
We have seen all 4 shows.
Yes, but we didn't see
Miriam Masika. We saw
Emma Kingston.
Yes.
Who was fantastic.
Yes. 3, 2, 1.
Bam.
We did the same.
We did exactly the same thing. I think Faith Amole, I'm so happy to see her getting recognised with this nomination. She was fantastic, and she'd be carrying the flag for all 3 of the leading ladies from Standing at the Sky's Edge, for Rachel Wooding, for Alex Young. But we think Katie Braben will win.
It's everybody, like, I felt like the big thing on socials, on talking between people, was that it was Katie Braben's to lose, and Katie Braben has won before.
She has won before. She won for Beautiful Carole King musical. Was she nominated for King Charles III as well? I believe she was nominated.
Yeah. And her transformation was incredible, like in her acting choices. So the shows are Ages of Feeling,
Mm-hmm.
Blackout Songs, The P Word, Paradise Now, and Two Palestinians Go Dogging.
I've seen one of these. I saw Ages of Feeling,
Mm-hmm.
and it was incredible and thoroughly moving. I think that's the thing I saw the night that the Queen died, which has
I think it was.
has no connection to the play, but it was all sort of about coming to terms with mortality and life, and it was existential and ultimately uplifting, I think. I'm still going to forego doing a should on this one because I think having just seen one of the shows, it's not really...
Well, I've not seen any of them, so I feel like I can't really... should... Oh, okay. 3, 2, 1.
Bam!
What did you go for?
The P Word.
Me too.
Yeah, a lot of buzz about this production. Heard great things.
It extended as well, which isn't that often that you see an affiliate in off West End theatres.
Yep. Wasn't last year's affiliate winner from The Bush?
I think so. The Bush do have a really good track record.
Yep.
The Sir Peter Hall Award for Best Director.
For Best Director.
We have Rebecca Frecknell for A Streetcar Named Desire.
Mm-hmm.
Robert Hasty for Standing at the Sky's Edge. Justin Martin for Prima Facie. Fellow McDermott for My Neighbour Totoro. And Bartlett Sher for To Kill a Mockingbird.
Maybe that? I don't know if I'm convinced even myself with what I've suggested here. Bam!
We did the same.
We did do the same. So
Yeah.
I think Felon McDermott deserves it for, the intricacy of Totoro and all of the different moving pieces to be considered. I think, and it was just beautiful. It was strikingly beautiful. But I think Streetcar has a lot of producers behind it.
And Rebecca won last year. Sometimes that goes against someone, but I don't know because it's for a play rather than a musical.
I wonder if anyone's ever won 2 years in a row in Best Direction for directing a play and a musical in subsequent
I don't know.
years. I wonder, a chance that's probably happened before. I bet Trevor Nunn's done that before or someone, but I'd be interested to find out.
So now we're on to Best Actress in a Play.
Best Actress in a Play.
Jodie Comer for Prima Facie. Patsy Ferran for A Streetcar Named Desire.
Yeah.
May Mack for My Neighbour Totoro. Janet McTeer for The Phaedra. Nicola Walker for The Cornice Green. I'm not going to say should.
I'm not going to say should either because I don't feel like I'm just advocating for the one person that I saw who would have been May Mack.
Yeah.
And again, I think this is another instance where the nomination is the win because what's the piece of trivia you told me earlier?
I read online that May Mack was the first East Asian performer to ever be nominated for a performance.
For an acting Olivier Award in any of the acting categories.
Well, that's what he said. Yeah. I don't know the full accuracy of
okay.
But, what I saw online was that statement.
But still, an astounding and tremendous ceiling-breaking achievement. Who do we think will win, though? Bam! You've gone for Jodie Comer rather than Patsy Ferran. I think this is a 2-horse race.
Yeah. So, Patsy has won before.
Yes.
Jodie has not. Jodie's going to Broadway.
Yes.
So, there's that factor that it's going somewhere else. But also, A Streetcar Named Desire is opening in the West End with a transfer.
Best Actor in a Play.
So, we have Tom Hollander for Patriots. Paul Mescal for A Streetcar Named Desire. Rose Ball for To Kill a Mockingbird.
Mm-hmm.
David Tennant for Good. And Giles Terrera for Blues for an Alabama Sky.
You cannot say Alabama. Oh my gosh.
Alabama.
Do it 10 times fast.
Alabama, 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 Alabama.
Are we going to do a should in this one either?
I can't.
No. Then let's not. Let's simply not. On this one, I'm following the buzz. The buzzy bees. There is a lot of buzz around one individual specifically. And his name is Paul.
Yep.
You going for Paul?
Yeah.
Paul. Yep.
Yep.
Is A Streetcar Named Desire transferring to the West End or is it the Paul Mescal show? These are the questions.
Yep. And the next, and we're on to the final 2 awards.
The final 2, wow.
They're the biggies.
Time flies when you're sitting and speculating about this for over
an
hour. I know,
literally. So, the first one is Delta Airlines Best New Play. We're talking 4 black boys who have considered suicide when the hue gets too heavy. Patriots. Prima Facie, and To Kill a Mockingbird.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Prima Facie. Going with Prima Facie. I think so. It really set the industry aflame.
Yeah.
When it opened. It's also homegrown versus a US import.
Yep.
But To Kill a Mockingbird has a lot of producers behind it. It has the weight of Sonia Friedman. Is that enough to carry it through when the SALT members are the ones who are voting? It's certainly a factor, and it merits consideration.
And then our final one.
Mm-hmm.
The MasterCard Best New Musical for The Band's Visit, Standing at the Sky's Edge, Sylvia, and Tammy Faye.
Okay. This is actually very easy. It's exhausting to write, but it's very easy. So we've not disagreed all that much.
No, we've been quite together on it,
I feel like a few of the ones where we've disagreed, it's just been conjecture, and we haven't really
It's more on, it's less
disagreed.
It's less, I don't think this... It's been a weird year for musicals.
It has been a weird year for musicals.
In particular.
Before we reveal for who should win Best Musical and who will win Best Musical, I've written the same thing.
Me too, although I'm a bit nervous about that.
Are you? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Standing at the sky's edge. We've gone for Standing at the Sky's Edge. I think it is the strongest musical of the year. It arrives as a fully finished product, which I don't know if Tammy Faye is quite. I think Tammy Faye could benefit from a little bit of further development.
Yeah, and I think it is getting that.
Yeah.
My confusion of whether Will is definitely locked is that Tammy Faye has a ridiculous amount of producers with it.
It's a factor. It's a factor that merits consideration.
But I feel like the buzz of a new British musical that's about Britain,
It feels like an Olivier Award winner.
And Sheffield did well last year.
Sheffield did do well last year. Sheffield Crucible have had a cracking few years.
Yeah.
So there you go. Those are our predictions. Who should win, as far as we're concerned, and who will win at the Olivier Awards this year. So check back here after the Oliviers, and we will talk through briefly who won out of the two of us. Well, it's going to be very close.
Very close.
Because we've mostly said the same things. How interesting. Am I keeping you up? That took a very long time. That's probably about twice as long as you've been watching this video. We've been sat here talking about this. But also, this is what we do normally when the camera isn't pointed at us anyway, is we just talk about...
We're always fascinated.
Awards. Yes. So I'm thrilled that we could finally make this video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this one, make sure to subscribe to my Stagey YouTube channel. There will be more Olivier Awards coverage. And we're also approaching the Tony Awards, the American version of the Oliviers as well. And we will be doing a little bit of punditry around those as well. So make sure you are subscribed. I hope that everyone is staying safe and that you have a stagey day. For 10 more seconds... I'm MickeyJoTheatre. Oh my god, hey. Thanks for watching, have a stagey day. Subscribe!